Alrighty then, it's time for a Tryndamere game, and this is after he's already been nerfed. Which one? He didn't get nerfed directly, but he got nerfed indirectly by the Warlord's mastery being changed. The thing is, he's the champion that can never be allowed to be good. I've gone over this several times. Riot will never let Tryndamere be good because his kit is simply too frustrating to deal with. It's almost impossible to balance because all the power is in that ultimate. It's a game-breaking ultimate in that it breaks the rules. It's like you can't die, pretty much it. No CC can stop you. You pretty much give yourself CC immunity to cast it. Like you can't silence it, you can't work around it. If the Tryndamere clicks his ultimate properly, then you're not going to kill them within that time span. And that just becomes a difficult thing to balance because if there's anything indirectly that makes him strong, such as an item that could somehow heal him to near full, or a mastery or something, he can go from complete crap to insanely overpowered overnight, and that's what happened with the Keystone Mastery. He basically had infinite sustain. Now with the nerf, he's more in line. Now, I want to tell you two things. One, I didn't really want to upload this video, but I kind of had no other footage because I got DDoS today and pretty much wasn't able to gather anything. So this is kind of one of the reserve videos I had. Second, I screw up my ultimate 2 times. You can check for it when it gets screwed up. One of them completely threw to panic, and second was fat fingering, which is really sad to... Really, kind of sad. Anyways, I have pretty much all attack speed runes except armor yellows and 2190 masteries. Obviously still taking warlords because even though it's nerfed, it still makes sense to take on Tryndamere. And as you can see, all I'm doing is pretty much just power farming. One of the things about Tryndamere that makes him really strong, or potentially strong, is that he's arguably the most powerful farming jungler in the game. At farming, in farming, just that. I mean, when it comes to team fighting and shit, he's pretty fucking bad. So I go against the Wukong, start cleaving him as much as I can, but he's going to flash, and I'm going to flash over to him, hopefully trying to kill him with crit, but it failed. Fortunately, the Vladimir picks him off, and then we kill the Tarek as well. So I'm basically able to cheat some Devour stacks here by getting an assist and getting a kill, and then being able to steal the enemy Wukong's large monsters. So my Devour is going to come rather quickly, and this is important in the new meta because, again, since everything's going by fast, you can't just sit around farming your own jungle. And the thing is, that's one of the things that made Jungle Tryndamere really strong with the Warlords thing. Like, in the past, Tryndamere would jungle at nearly low health during the first several clears of the game. So he couldn't invade, he couldn't become more proactive, he would just have to farm his own jungle, and there was a limit to that. Only if Tryndamere got lucky could he pretty much screw the enemy out of some farm, or steal the enemy jungle, or pressure them out just because he's very dangerous if you try to slug it out with him and he gets lucky. Thing is, now, as you can see, even now, I am pretty good at healthy. Like what you saw right there when I ganked the Wukong and the Tarek, I was pretty healthy, and then even farming, I'm still pretty healthy. But that's not initially, that's afterwards. And even so, it's kind of because I'm getting pretty lucky with my crits and with the enemy blundering into me. In most situations, Tryndamere gets slapped down. So Tryndamere had this whole weakness before the Warlords of being crushed by the likes of Lee Sin or a very brave Shaco or stuff like that. Now, I mean, the jungle was weakened, so he's still technically a bit better, but the Warlord's Decree being nerfed makes it less obscene. As far as Tryndamere being competitive, I'm pretty much sure he's not going to be, but he might still be a solo queue menace because he's one of those very abusive farm junglers, because he cheats. If he gets crit, if he gets left alone, he hits really hard and he can just kind of bullshit out a fight. It's that whole the problematic mix of immortality and crits on a champion. So like in a case like this, I should have died pretty much immediately because I got superly aggressive. I still die because Ignite takes me out and I didn't use my ultimate properly. But that kind of shit is insane, where you can just go really ham on Tryndamere. I'm pretty sure you fought him during this time in mid lane or in the jungle, and you thought you were safe, but he tower dives you, and you can't do anything about it because you can't deal damage to him, you can't burst him down, he's just gonna use his damn ultimate. So, like, now I got the State to Devour, and now pretty much I will murder the hell out of anybody. I I finally actually bought items. You probably saw that I held, well, you couldn't see because I didn't show you the gold, but I held on to my gold for a long time. I believe I actually had 3,000 gold just while I was going around in circles farming, because that's one of the Tryndamere's best traits. His Q is one of the single strongest jungle clearing abilities in the entire game. It gives you so much damage, it's absurd. Problem is, of course, it's his usability in team fights. And in general, like in something like this, I can't do anything as Tryndamere because I'll die as soon as I get anywhere, and I'll just pretty much be picked off and absolutely wrecked. So that's the biggest problem with Tryndamere. He's not a proactive champion. He's a reactive champion. Sort of like something like Master Yi and stuff. If you charge in as Master Yi or Tryndamere, you're gonna see C knocked around, or they'll play around you, and then you don't do anything. You have to wait for your teammates to set everything up, and you come in and clean up. And that's a problem for a lot of team compositions, or in general metas, where you're a reactive champion in a meta, or against champions that are very proactive. It doesn't matter how much you can do if you never have the chance to actually trigger that, essentially. So, by the way, here's where I'm going to fat finger my ultimates. I got it, it's super embarrassing. Either way, this is why Tryndamere, again, is kind of like a nerf magnet. The times where he can actually be proactive, or the times where you can't really give an answer to him come out, he's just too obscene to deal with. He's just too strong. Like at this point, we don't really have a team fighting composition. I mean, the Leona and Lux are really good at sieging people, but their team is pretty damn good at countering that. So we're deciding in chat, although you can't see it, that I'm going to be the one to split push. We're going to get Baron, and then I'm going to go crazy. Although it doesn't turn out as clean as we had hoped. We back away, we go through, my Leona gets a little too hasty and she gets caught and she gets absolutely murdered, so the enemy team counter pushes towards mid. So I'm just kind of hanging around here, just waiting for an opportunity to kill somebody. I catch the Wukong, although they didn't slow him, and I just start cleaving at him, but the enemy team is ridiculously aggressive and forced me out, as you saw. So I'm just kind of around here. I can't split push because if I try split pushing, my team might just completely fall apart. So fortunately, we were able to beat them back because we had the Baron buff and the minions are just too strong, and the enemy doesn't have any real wave clear. So we push them back, and we get the dragon, and this is where they decide, okay, Tryndamere, you're gonna have to try to push top. We catch the Ahri trying to sneak in. She flashes over. I flash after her, and Lux picks her off. Well, she goes into stasis, and then she gets picked off by the Lux, and we give them chase. We push towards mid with this, and there's pretty much nothing the enemy team can do at this point. This is the part where Tryndamere gets stupid. I mean, he was already stupid prior. It's where if I don't do much in team fights, but I can destroy anybody in one-on-one combat. So all I'm gonna have to do now is split push. I could go 0, 10, and 0, but because of the way Tryndamere works, he can still solo most champions even that fucked up. So he's like the ideal split pushing champion. A lot of attack speed, a lot of damage backing up that attack speed, and the inability to die in case some people come get you. So I essentially have to be focused by two people in order to be actually finished off. Taric, who is arguably the strongest in the enemy team right now, is the only one here who could possibly do anything, but even then him, thanks to the red smite, tries to fight me, and he burns absolutely everything he can, and he almost dies. I mean, yeah, I was low on health too, but I didn't have to use my ultimate, or didn't have to use very much to deal with it. So Taric is forced to leave because otherwise the rest of his team falls apart, and that lets me take a turret. Wukong too tries to stop me, but he realizes he's got to go defend bottom, which allows me to get the inhibitor, but I don't need to since the Nexus is about to fall. So hooray for Tryndamere, you're going to probably not be nerfed anymore since they nerfed the one thing that was making you obscenely powerful. Hooray! Here's hoping I don't get any more lag or DDoS so I can actually get some better footage. Still though, thanks for watching.